day 28. It is day 28. 2 more days on this challenge. I feel so happy, I feel so proud, and so just like pumped up to know that I'm almost done. I also know that I'm probably just going to continue doing those kind of videos at some point. Probably change the format of, like, I'm noticing that there's plenty of stuff that I haven't explored in actually just making videos, because like I wanted this to be simple, but I also know that I want to play with editing more, making them like more dynamic or stuff. So I guess I'll explore more of what I'm gonna do next later. There's also something about art. I just so freaking love making art and creating and the process of creation, that I'm probably going to focus on sharing a little bit about that at some point. Right now I wanted to touch on shadow work. This seems to be a theme as well that is coming up lately quite a bit. Shadow work and the darkness in ourselves. And I noticed there are many ways of talking about it. Some people are calling shadow work. Some people are just noticing some kind of darkness. For some people, it's just like a fear of feeling pain, or painful feelings in general. And there is also sometimes the thing that comes about demons or evil in oneself, and I have a sense that it's actually, for many people, this whole topic of evil, darkness, abyss, taboo is just taboo. um, because we don't want to own that we have experiences of um, entities or demons speaking to us or acting through us. And my sense is that there are actually quite of a gift. My work with the letting go process and actually staying and feeling fully my emotions as they come up, there are emotions that are usually quite powerful and that people are running away from, like a lot of shame, a lot of fear, of anger, um, rage, despair. And my sense is that there is usually fear when you're starting on something like this, and on looking at yourself. There is a fear of looking at yourself because there's a part of you that knows that there are dark energies, and you know that you are not it, and you don't want to be close to it, for a fear from a fear of being overpowered by those energies, knowing that you deeply do not want to feel them. And there is a fear of being overpowered, there is a sense of threat or of being a victim of it. And what I find really beautiful with the letting go process, and allowing the emotions to be there, observing it, witnessing them without judging or having them be another way, is that you're reclaiming your own power. You're actually choosing to step into the darkness. You're choosing, like, you are willing to feel, without buying into the story of the emotion. So you're actually just able to look at what able to witness and experience the energy of the emotion without being subject to it, without being a victim of it, and without perceiving it necessarily as a threat anymore. So it's a huge shift. instead of having it run in your unconscious, you're now um, opening up to have those energy be released without being a victim. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to be said, and I'm not quite sure what that was. Yeah. Checking in with myself. There is something else on this topic around shadow work and darkness. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm talking about them as like a gift, because what I noticed and what in myself was that when I'm actually just allowing to feel those really dark energies in me, they transform themselves, they shape shift. And what I notice is that it's actually my mind, my psyche has created this really scary vision of some kind of like external entity or something. But it actually, under it, what it actually holds is um, I would say some kind of like traumatic events in my life that I believed at some point I could not handle. Oh, sorry about the. I'm not quite sure what the sound is, but discard it. I'm just gonna get a little closer to make sure that you can hear me. Yeah. Um, so what they're actually holding is the energy of a traumatic event where that when you were little, usually you believe that you would not survive, an event that you would not survive, or that it was too difficult, that it would like just wipe out your consciousness or something like this, that it would be too hard to bear. So it's kind of got locked up away from the psyche. Or a trait of yourself or something like a part of your soul that you banned because it was not accepted, or it didn't belong or something like this, and you had some comments about like a way of you, the way you were being or something. um, and all of that is kind of like locked up in a time box and does not really um, mm, know that right now you have changed and you have grown and you have learned a bunch of skills um, that actually makes you able to look at what happened with a different light and realize that you actually survived it. So my experience is that when I'm going into those really dark areas that look from the outside a very dark, like demonic evil, or whatever you want to call it, just like abyss or whatever else, they actually hold treasures of insight and breakthrough about yourself, about your soul, recovering parts of yourself that uh, you that you locked away. um, and this is really deep work, and I have a sense that like it's better to have some kind of supervision to do that, if especially if you're starting. um, but I just want to point at that direction, looking at the darkness in you and shining the light on the darkness and witnessing it is huge, is freaking huge in terms of growth and in terms of breakthroughs, in terms of like gaining insight about who you are and what you want to be. It's look in that direction. There is something there. I'm pointing at it as like, yeah, this is like treasures uh, of insights and gifts, and yeah, it's usually actually a beautiful gift and energy there that it can be retrieved, basically. I think that's gonna be it for day 28. I just wanted to say that out loud. Shadow work, darkness. Yes, it feels freaking scary at the beginning. Um, if you dive into it willingnessly and let yourself feel those feelings without buying into the story, but feeling the energy of it, treasures that there. Yeah, I think that's it for today. That's it for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow for day 28. Bye.